welcome to another episode of The Eden's Gem. I love it. If you haven't watched the previous episodes where we talked about how we came up with the name The Eden's Gem, basically I go in at that point. I was a gemologist, and a gemologist is basically someone that studies gemstones, precious stones. And so I love the fact that God put mankind in a garden east of Eden, a place of tranquility, of beauty, of growth. And then that is what Eden's represents. And then not only that, mankind was the rarest and the most precious of all God's creation because he had created mankind in his own image and in his likeness. And so that's how we came about the title for these YouTube episodes, The Eden's Gem. Listen, if you're just coming across this or somebody sent it to you, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to actually give us a few minutes of your time. If you're a returning subscriber, a returning listener, thank you. If you've enjoyed it, you've watched more than one or two episodes, that means there's something that you're getting out of it. And so why don't you take it a step further in this episode and hit the like button if you've enjoyed at least one episode. I know some of you come here to just kind of say, you didn't do this right. And then, yes, we like that. We like critique. We like constructive criticism. But at least don't just let be that only reason why you come here. I pray that it bless you. We want to give a shout out to our production team, Blessed Dream Production and Eyes Have Not Seen, again and again and again. If it wasn't for them, these episodes would not come. Listen, all I know is to talk, okay? I don't know even how to position this microphone here. I don't know how to position myself in the chair. I have to do all these things. I don't know what to do with a camera. They make it all happen. And so shout out and a clap to them. Today, we're talking about the joy of my finish line or the joy at my finish line. Whatever the English sounds better for you grammatically, you make it your own. This actually is the picture that I had when I started talking about these episodes of joy. It's a vision, a pictorial vision that I had, not like a Holy Spirit vision or anything like that. It's like a picture that I saw when it comes to joy. And that is that of a marathon runner, or any matter of fact, any runner. I have 4 children. One of them is very athletic. And this one particular child does cross country, but he also does like just track. And I was recently having a conversation with him because cross country had finished. Cross country is a long distance. So they run a mile in at their age. And then he goes to do track. And I'm thinking he will do maybe the 800 and the longer distances. But this boy does actually the 100 by 4 relays. Sometimes he does 200. And because they're younger, they also do 50. And the speed with which, like most, it's different schools. And usually parents will come and say, "Is that your son? My goodness, he's so fast." So I had a conversation with him. How are you able to do like long, which takes stamina, and still be able to have the wind to do the shorter distance and come up, not just winning, but I'm telling you, a gap, right? And so I was having a picture of a marathon runner to look at joy. Because in as much as I see my son like literally struggling and panting when he comes, he's always focused on that finish line. And the finish line is what gives him the joy to forget about all the pain that is involved. For those that are not familiar with a marathon, let me tell you what it is. A marathon is actually 26.2 miles. And some of you, I know you deal in kilometers. That is 42.165, yes, to be precise, kilometers. I can't even do a mile, let alone go and run 26.2 something, something, something miles. I think the point two alone would have taken me out. But when I started envisioning it, I was like, I've watched a few marathon runners, at least on TV. And sometimes they want to give up. Sometimes they're throwing water on them. The training alone, I hear, is tedious. But it's like when they're done and they cross that finish line, there's this energy, there's this joy. Sometimes even before crossing that line, you see them after running all this. There's this adrenaline that comes once they see them about to finish. In life, if we're going to exude joy, we have to create what I call our finish lines in life. That finish line gives us the adrenaline to want to wake up and face another day, just like the marathon runner puts one foot in front of the other, in front of the other, until they see that finish line, right? And I'm just looking here because I wanted to be precise and give you something. It doesn't matter how tired the runner is, how frustrating the journey is, the ups, the mountains, the going around the curves, they still are able to endure it. Why? Because there is something called the finish line, the sight of joy. And so in life, I want us to set some finish lines. And the first person that comes usually gets the gold. The second person that comes gets the silver. The third person that comes gets the bronze. And so, you know what I do? My milestones I have in my brain, awards waiting for me. Some of these milestones are what I celebrate with gold medals. That means there were things that was difficult. I didn't feel like getting up that day. I didn't feel like doing it. But at the end of the day, I pressed through and I did it even though it was difficult, even though it was arduous. And when I'm able to finish that task, I give myself a gold medal. That means the celebration is huge. But there are certain things too. I don't expect to always have the gold medal finish line. There are some too that I say, Annette, it didn't feel like you did it well, but you crossed that finish line. You met that target. You checked off that goal. And even though it doesn't feel like it's a gold medal, you deserve a silver medal. So celebrate and be happy with that silver medal. And then there are my bronze, or you didn't qualify. You crossed the line, but you didn't make it efficient enough to even receive a medal. But yet still, the person that is coming at the 45th place doesn't say, oh, they've given all the medals, so let me just give up. They still put in every effort just to say, I crossed that finish line. This year, 2024 and beyond, what are some finish lines that you have to cross? Don't let the journey of the marathon and the frustrations of the journey take you out. Paul says, I fix my eyes, I focus on the crossing mark so that with that fixation on there, I can cross it and have joy. In 2 Timothy, I believe 2 Timothy, it's very easy to remember 2 Timothy 2:20-22. 2. Just look for Timothy and find all the twos that's attached to Timothy and you will land there. I love it, right? It says that in a great house, there are many vessels. In every race of life, there are many medals. That's how I equate it. There are some that are honorable. There are some that are made of gold. There are some that are made of silver. There are some that are made of bronze. But at the end of the day, every vessel, whether made of wood, of clay, of gold, is used to serve. Don't focus on just the gold to celebrate and be joyful. Just use the finish line and be joyful. Some of us, our finish line is I was able to get out of bed this morning, even though I felt so depressed. Some of us, our finish line is I didn't know how I was going to wipe away the tear, but somebody gave me a phone call today. Somebody gave me a hug today. Somebody whispered a prayer. Somebody held my hand. And that's my finish line. It may not be a gold. It may not even be a bronze, but I crossed that line. I got that hug. And so again, set some finish lines in life. The joy at the finish line or the joy of my finish line. You determine what it's going to be. God bless you. Again, joyful June. We are happy that you brought us nuggets, and we can't wait to see what it is that you're going to bring us in July. God, we are very, very grateful. We choose joy. We choose joy. We choose joy. It's a song by King and Country. We choose joy. Some days you just have to choose it. Close your eyes, struggle, run, put one foot in front of the other, and just make it to the finish line. God bless you.